just get on with it, basically. So that's
Sorry,
yeah.
I forgot to put the recording on, and
Uh,
I just clicked on it, and the first recorded sentence of you is just get on with it already.
get
That's
on
cool.
with it. Come
Just get
on,
on with it.
hurry up, Scott.
Yeah,
Jesus, I've got all day. I actually have got all day.
you've got all day. That's beautiful.
I've got all day. I've got the whole day.
So where do you live?
Yeah. Where do I live? I live in Sheffield. I've just realised I'm on the shit Wi-Fi, not on the good Wi-Fi.
All right.
Is it gonna is it gonna fuck this up if I is am I right to swear?
Oh no! Of course you're allowed to swear. Yeah, and because you just swore that much,
Oh, good.
and you are officially invited to my podcast. And me and Matt, it's an American guy.
No,
Lives in the
hang on.
woods.
Let me change.
Or change the
I need to
Wi-Fi,
change the Wi-Fi because I can't
but
hear
you
you.
go out of this and you come back in. And we lost Hannah. Hannah, who is very entertaining. If I can, while she goes in and out of the Wi-Fi, I might read.
Here I'm back. I'm
You're
back.
back. That was
Did
quick.
I free my position?
Yeah, you.
Yeah. It's just it's
Ooh.
the Wi-Fi extender. I mean, it's not a very exciting story. Basically, I live
Well,
in quite a tall house, and the router is on the ground floor,
all right.
and I'm on the top floor. So
But
yeah,
but saying it while you are stripping off, that makes it interesting. Keeps everybody's attention. Yeah. So my
yeah.
Wi-Fi, it's a shit, and I have a computer and stuff.
It's
But you
like,
keep the audience. Yeah. Wanker. Is that wanker written on your
I've
thing?
got wanker. Yeah, so
Wanker. Yeah, beautiful.
thought I'd wear my favourite jumper for
There
you
you go.
today. There you go.
Wanker.
Yeah.
Hanky panky. All righty.
Okay.
That's beautiful. That's so now you're in the good Wi-Fi. You have a jumper with wanker written on it,
Yeah.
and you have a dinosaur bird behind you. That's
There you go. Do you know
Christmas.
about these?
I know that I've seen images of them. Like there's one famous image of just it was looking at a camera, and it looks like a cartoon. Doesn't
Yeah.
look like a real bird.
No, they're fucking mental. Like, I watched I just like some David Attenborough thing about them. Like, they're just evil. They're like a cartoon evil bird, but it
Yeah,
actually exists.
they
They're
actually
really
exist.
weird.
Yeah, they do look scary. Everybody will be focused on the bird and not on you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's quite an exciting bird.
Yeah,
Um,
bird. How about talking? If I refer to you as a bird, how bad would that be?
well, I mean, I actually use the word bird, but then if you refer to me as a bird, I don't know, we're getting into like political correctness now.
Yeah,
I probably wouldn't really care that much, although I feel like I should care.
but it
Um,
doesn't. It doesn't happen. A man doesn't talk to a girl like going, "Hey, you're a bird." They would talk to someone else saying, "Oh, I was doing a Zoom interview with this bird who had a bird behind her."
yeah, I suppose it depends on the intent of the usage of the word
An old
bird.
bat. Yeah,
The old bat. If you were like, I don't know, with some lads and you're like, oh yeah, I was with this bird, like you probably wouldn't do that because you don't talk like that. But you know what I mean, like,
yeah.
yeah. But I
Had
mean,
wanker written on a jumper. Yay,
I mean, she wasn't a bird; she was just a wanker, and
wanker.
that's fair enough.
I don't even tell you what she had written on her panties, man. Panties? No, panties. Is that for panties? Yeah.
Not around here. Knickers.
Knickers, yeah, on her knickers. But knickers is like a grandma kind of thing. Knickers. I mean, I mean knickers.
My knickers, yeah, just
Knickers.
pants, yeah. On
I
my
loved living in.
giant
I
pants.
lived in Penzance for a while
How did
in
you?
Cornwall. Yeah, 6 months, and I lived in Bury near Manchester for
In
6 months.
Bury?
In Bury,
In
in Bury.
Bury? Oh,
Yeah,
what do you live
in
in Bury
Bolton.
for? I
Well,
live in Bolton.
I met a bird. So I was in Bolton.
You live you met a bird from Bolton?
No, I met a bird from Germany.
Oh,
Well, it's a long story. I was during the European Voluntary Service,
right.
and I just was a voluntary person. So I applied for some projects, and the only one who answered was the YMCA in Penzance.
Right.
So I didn't even check where Penzance was. I didn't care. Oh, I'll go to England. Who cares?
Yeah,
Then I
just
realized, man, that was where the train line finishes. There's nothing
yeah,
after Penzance. It's like
no.
the
And
butthole
like,
of
there's
England.
like you are
The what?
what? There's like one bus a day from Penzance to like the rest of the world, isn't there? Like,
Exactly,
yeah,
exactly. So that was funny because my hometown has like 50,000 people in Portugal. I
right,
went to Lisbon to get a plane. That was like 500,000 people. I
yeah,
land in London. There's 11 million people.
yeah,
And go to Penzance was 20,000. And there's one black guy in town. And I was always seeing him say, there he goes. Hey. And
yeah,
we're kind of intimate because he was the only one. And I always
yeah,
was happy to see him. Then I
yeah.
moved to Bere.
Bure,
And we were three white guys in the neighborhood. Me
yeah,
and the two guys sharing a shit flat, and everybody else was from Pakistan and Afghanistan
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
everything. And I'm not like a peasant, you know. I've never seen like when I got to London, I saw a guy with a turban, like was a Sikh, and
yeah,
I've never seen a Sikh or an Indian or whatever. And I go, wow, I'm like a 4-year-old in a zoo or something.
yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
What's
And I
what's
met a bird at the
yeah,
voluntary training who
yeah,
was, yeah, she had her project was in Bure. So I went to, I said, well, fuck this, fuck the YMCA, I'm bored here. I moved to there and I went to work in an elderly people's homes.
yeah.
And that was funny because I was 19 and I
Mm.
lied through my teeth, but I got one interview and one job. And that's how I did that.
Didn't you what? Sorry, Scott.
I lied through my teeth to get the job. That was funny because in the YMCA there was a luncheon club taking
Yeah,
place once every 2 weeks, and I happened to help a couple of times, just serving the
yeah,
food. And when I applied for this Kilali home
yeah.
in Berry, I said I was in charge of any, doing all the activities of elderly people in
Oh,
Penzance.
yeah.
And they
Basically,
go, oh yes, I do all sorts of stuff with old people. And they go, all righty then, come. So that was a funny thing. And old people, they're funny. They're probably all dead now. But anyway, no
yeah,
one can't really interview anyone about me.
it's
They're all,
one of that. Like, you don't think about sort of people aging that you worked with. Like, I taught kids in South Korea for a bit, and in my head, they're all the same age. And
yeah,
like, I was thinking about it the other day, and I was like, shit, some of those kids are actually like university age now.
yeah,
That's
be
really
jacking off
weird.
thinking about you. Yeah, it happens. You're a teacher, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, yeah,
yeah.
it kind of does. Well, anyway, but the Koreans maybe they don't do that. They're not wankers in Korea. They have other
Like,
words for it.
yeah.
Yeah, no, that never happened. So your comedy, you were saying that you went to Spain to get drunk. Okay, no, you're
Yeah,
an English person in Spain. That's
yeah,
the stereotype.
yeah, of course. I mean, you've got to be like drooling all over the floor, shouting, and just
Being
generally,
racist and shit.
yeah, just being an absolute prick.
Yeah,
That's what we do. Someone's got to keep the side up. You can't go
exactly.
to Spain and be nice and like try and speak Spanish and
Yeah,
stuff. Everyone should speak English, shouldn't they? I mean, that's
yeah.
that's just yeah. Yeah, so I went to Spain. I was like, right, I'm going to give stand up a little break. Was it recording when we were talking about the stand up? I'll tell you
No,
again.
just when you started saying "get on with it,"
Get on with it.
and you called me a bastard. That's when I
Yeah, and a prick.
and,
Uh,
and do not forget. And a cunt never goes
I also,
amiss.
never.
Well placed. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's weird. My knees going all. Anyway. Yeah. So I did some stand up. I did 12 gigs, varying in quality. The gigs, not me. I mean, it was always
Yeah,
free.
yeah.
Yeah, so I did 12 gigs, and I couldn't get over the stage fright. I was just like really anxious. So yeah, I decided I'm just going to have a little break. So probably this time, maybe about, I don't know, just over a year ago, I was like, I'm just going to have a little break over the winter. Go to Spain, shout and swear at the Spanish, dribble on the floor, eat fried breakfasts in Magaluf, and not really. Yeah, and I was like, I'll come back to it, and then there was COVID, and there was no stand up. So I've sort of toyed with the idea of doing it online, but I don't know. I was like, I'm just going to write stuff because
Yeah.
that's good. And yeah, so I've just been writing basically this year. Been writing sketches. Got a few on my YouTube channel. I bumped some more up there today actually. So just in case we talked about it, people are like, oh, that sounds good. I'll go on Hannah's YouTube channel. There's nothing on there.
Yeah, exactly.
Like record loads of stuff this morning. Like get it out there because I looked through it. And like I sort of had some like improvised stuff that I put on there last year, and I was like, "She's all tosh. It's bollocks. Like it's got to go." So yeah, I've been kind of like trying to write sketches and just like little bits and things. And the next thing is I'm going to try and write a sitcom. So yeah, that's gonna start soon, hopefully.
All righty. Well, you might want to join my writers' room.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, because I'm thinking about it. I have loads and loads and loads of stuff on YouTube and podcasts
yeah,
and stuff, but it's mainly riffing because I find
yeah.
myself so funny.
Well,
Naturally, no, I don't bother writing. Writing is for people who aren't sure about themselves. So, and I never. Yeah, I write a lot for other people. I write comedy on Fiverr, and I
I was
get
going to
paid.
ask you about that. Yeah,
Yeah, I write on Fiverr. I have to write scenes and stuff for people, and that's all my effort goes into writing that thing because
mm,
I get paid. So, and that's why I went on Fiverr. Said, well, at least if someone wants to pay me to write some shit, at least I'll be training on
yeah,
how to become a comedy writer, and I'll have deadlines and stuff, so I'm not waiting for inspiration or anything.
yeah.
So, and that's what I did now. I just posted something on Facebook saying, well, I'm going to do a sitcom. So anybody who wants to join, just send in your audition, and if you want to write, you're welcome to come and write.
Mm,
So I have a bunch of auditions of
yeah,
people who want to do sketches and stuff, but that's cool, and
great.
a few for the writers' room, and the writers' room is an experience I want to have that I didn't have yet because everybody is just writing by themselves. Whereas
Yeah,
when you write with someone, the comedic potential of what you are doing is higher.
yeah, definitely.
So if you want to join, I'll
Yes.
probably run an English part of but this will be in French. But
Oh yeah.
anyway,
I mean,
it can be recycled. I've listened to the John Cleese so anyway book, like the autobiography. I've listened
yeah,
to it, and basically they're just recycling stuff. They do sketches, and no, we just use the sketch from the Footlights in Broadway, and you go, oh, righty then. I didn't
yeah,
know you'd do that, but they just do it. And once you write a bit, so if let's say if you participate in this thing and you write a sketch for it,
mm,
and we do it, and then you can do it, and then everybody can
yeah,
do it, and
great.
there's no originality is overrated, dude. Anyway, you make
That's
me think of Amanda. That's so funny talking to you.
Amanda.
Amanda.
Yeah.
You know the I think it's Amanda. The series, the sitcom.
I've not actually seen it.
Well, it's funny. Well, she talks like you,
Oh,
and
wait, Miranda.
That's what I said. It's Miranda.
Yeah, I mean that is pretty much the same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I've actually heard that people have said that to me before, and I've not watched it. I also get you look like Lena Dunham.
Lena.
Um,
That I don't know who she is. So.
oh, it's some American. She's in something. Yeah,
She probably looks like you. Not for
she.
me because I've seen you first. I think she looks like
Yeah, yeah, she looks like me. She stole my face. I was born first, so
exactly.
give me my face back, Lena.
Yeah,
Lena,
Lena.
whatever your name is. I mean, come on, what are you doing?
Yeah, getting my face out there, which is
Yeah,
I nearly did that. I saw a report of a guy who did a photo shoot and put his pictures up in a image bank or whatever it was, and his picture is all over the world for erectile dysfunctioning pills, domestic violence, cancer, sheds, you name it. People
yeah,
just oh, we need a man for this ad, so they just go there. So his picture is free, and his face is on buses in Argentina and
so weird.
Korea and stuff. So I thought, well, oh, maybe I'll do that. But then if I become famous and my image is actually worth something, they'll be
Yeah,
making money out of my face, and that's not good.
keep
But
your
anyway,
keep your face to yourself, like
yeah, Like
Hang on
just
to
like your
that face.
dick. Just yeah.
I mean, dicks are expendable, but you got to keep face. You
Yeah,
sort of need that.
yeah. And so, when did you decide to do comedy?
Well, I've always found myself hilarious, so
Yeah,
it was a
that
natural
helps.
progression. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Someone's got to. Yeah, I don't know. I was just like, I'd sort of always been jealous of people who could do stand up, and I was like, oh, I want to do that. When I was at uni and like a little bit afterwards, I did acting, and I always got like the cameo part, like like coming in as a like shrieking cockney covered in piss for like 2 minutes and make everyone laugh and go away again, which is quite good because you don't really have to learn any lines and you get like all the glory.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I did that quite a bit, and then I did a play after. I moved to London after I lived in Bolton actually, and I did a play, and I had quite a big part, and it really put me off because I was like, God, it's so many lines to learn, so many rehearsals. I just couldn't be asked to do it,
All right.
basically, because it was just, yeah, I
Good for
don't know.
comedy, you lazy ass. It's
Yeah,
perfect
exactly. So, I
comedy.
mean, I should have put two and two together
Yeah.
there and, picked up a mic. But yeah, I just, last year, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to give it a go, but I'm going to do a course, and I'm going to get someone to like, I'm not going to experiment with just standing up with a microphone. I'm going to get someone who's actually good at stand up to tell me how to do it properly. So I did a course with Laughing Horse in London with a comedian called Jay Sodegar, and it was absolutely brilliant because it's just 2 days, and he's like, right, get writing basically today, do a bunch of exercises, and then that's on the Saturday, and then on the Sunday evening you do a show like it's just like a up to 5 minute slot, but it just gets you doing it. And like he had so you basically it's you and like seven other prospective stand-ups, and basically all of your mums watching, so like you get this like thunderous applause and whooping, and you're like, oh my god, I'm amazing. It's like, it's just because it's your mum and everyone else's
Yeah.
mums, like, but um yeah, it just gives you like the confidence to do it then. So then I just booked a load of shows and did them, and then actually the confidence did then erode. But yeah, that's more to do with
Tony
me.
Robbins kind of thing just before going, you can do this, you can do this, and you go, ah, and then
Yeah,
there's confidence.
yeah. I sort of thought like, I mean, actually, I did try and get some drugs off the doctor. I'm like, can I have some drugs that will make me not anxious? And they were like, no, you can't.
Uh,
Yeah, they were like, basically, you can have antidepressants, which I don't want to take because I took those before and I came off them, and it was really horrible, like really horrible. So I was like, no, I'm not doing that. But so what I've done now, not that I can do any stand up, is I've made myself a power up playlist of all the tunes that make me go, and I'm
all
just,
right.
that's going to be my plan in the future.
That's
Do
cool.
that.
But what exactly do you know? What you're afraid of when you go on stage?
I don't know. Like, I just there's sort of basically like a few gigs I did, I like relaxed into it, and I really enjoyed it and I had a good time. But like the other ones, I'm there like thinking like, oh, like this bit's, am I going to forget? Basically, I think like, am I going to forget what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's what I'm worried about. Which, I mean, it doesn't really matter if I forget what I'm saying, but I can't like get over that. Like, what if I,
Alrighty. You'll be happy to know that I have the solution for that, darling.
oh,
And
brilliant. Okay, all
yeah,
it is.
and we can do some sessions out of this recording thing. Because I did a couple of terms with the Greg Dean School of Stand Up.
Right.
It's like he taught some famous people, and
All right.
he had some really good teachers. And we talked about stage fright and what happens with that. So there's a few techniques that I'll be more than happy to share with you.
Very
And
kind.
basically, the Greg Dean thing is you have to rehearse your show in picture, sounds, and feelings more than the text. Because if you're thinking words, you go on stage and you have to and they have your internal dialogue saying, "Don't forget to say this. Don't forget to do this gesture. Don't forget to look back. Don't forget to say hi to the guy." And there's like two people. There's your critic just grabbing you and don't forget, don't forget, don't forget, and oh, I'm afraid I'll forget. And there's so much going on with that you're not even in the room. Like if you can have 10 people, you can have 10,000, the room can be empty, and you are not there because you're in your mind. Whereas if you
yeah,
rehearse your thing with picture sounds, and feelings, there is no way you can forget what you're going to say because you'll be seeing it. Like if you remember something that you've been through, that you remember,
yeah,
then there's the crux of each joke. When you know what joke you're going to say,
yeah,
there's like my grandma buried three husbands, one of them while he was sleeping. You know,
yeah,
you don't need to say my grandma uh, in this specific order. What you need to know that she buried three husbands or more than one husband, and that one was not dead. That's
yeah,
the whole thing you need to remember for this joke. So then you can go at the joke from many different angles. You can be talking about whatever, and then when you go to that joke, you go, oh yeah, and it just flows. But anyway, it's more
yeah.
complicated than this, and we can talk about it.
Right. Yeah. Don't share all your secrets with all the plebs that
Well,
are listening
it's
to your
it's boring.
podcast.
It's I've been teaching stand up and comedy for a little while now, and
Yeah.
it's really boring because people think, oh, this is let's learn how to do stand up and do and yeah, you do a bit of crowd work in the room with the people. You do crowd work, the crowd work techniques, ranting. That's something I do usually. Everybody gets to rant for a little while, and we work on
Mm,
that ranting and stuff, and to get material. Then there's like filters, the comic filters to apply to just a serious idea you have, and then to make it funny. But it's
yeah.
it's 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 boring. It's like technical thing. This is
Yeah.
eins zwei eins
I,
zwei. It's
I like that though. I like deconstructing it because, like, I don't know. People are like, oh, it takes the magic out of it. I'm like, yeah, but I quite like that because you
yeah,
realize it's not like, it's not magic. It's just like technique and
yeah. It's science. That's the funny thing about it. It's
I,
like it looks like, and I when I advertised my lessons, I
mm.
had other comedians from the local place saying I was robbing people. They put it on Instagram. Hey, this is a scam and stuff. Because, and I
Scam.
talked to them. I said, "What are you talking about? What scam?" I said, "Well, you can't teach comedy. What? You can't teach it. Either you're born with it or you're not born with it.
Oh God.
Or yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. This is like the street thing, you know. It's how you talk to people, and and you write. What the fuck are you talking about, man? These people are making millions of monies doing thing like you can't teach it. What are you talking about? Everybody,
Yeah.
it's like the only art form in the world where there are no lessons. To play the violin, you need lessons. The piano need lessons.
I know.
Ballet, dancing, being a surgeon, writing. You go 20 years in school to learn how to write, and you can learn it alone. And but not stand up. No, that's
No,
that's
no.
that's just
It's a gift from the gods. That's what
yeah.
it is.
Yeah, so that's the excuse, for and it's always mysterious when someone has a break and goes on TV or whatever. They go, oh, yeah, they have this magical thinking kind of thing. Oh, we don't know why. It's really funny. Yeah, but
Yeah.
why? How did it happen? Yeah, people can't explain. But again, when you get there, like my teacher Greg Dean, he gave stand-up lessons to Whoopi Goldberg,
Right.
and she got the Oscar. And Anthony Jeselnik was one of
Right.
his students, and he acknowledges him. He said, "Well, I learned joke writing from the best guy,
Yeah.
and I learned it with this guy." But
Yeah.
people are a bit well, some comedians are um, shy about saying, "Oh, I learned it. This is a skill
Mm,
I've learned."
yeah.
Or I listened to a book the other day about a writer who was writing for Seinfeld,
Yeah.
and there were 12 writers,
Yeah.
12 staff writers for
Yeah.
Seinfeld.
Oh wow.
And then Seinfeld and Larry David, they were doing, putting their genius onto it, but the script probably
Yeah.
came from one of those writers.
Yeah.
And you go, oh, so
Yeah.
there's structure after all. This guy, this it's not just like coming out of his balls like that. Like, hey, let's
Yeah.
do this. No, they
I know.
they actually
Yeah.
think about it.
it's funny because it's actually like like most stuff that you watch on TV or live is just like really formulaic, but it still makes you laugh. So you know,
Yeah,
yeah, it's funny. Like every book on comedy starts with that thing of like people say comedy can't be taught, but no, literally you can teach it, and this is it. So
yeah, yeah. Well, but again, but it's the hardest form of writing. You know, poetry, you can just do whatever the fuck you want, and you go. If you just stuff that doesn't make any sense, and some weirdo will say, "Oh, this is sublime." You
yeah,
know,
no,
so someone will say, "Wow, this is." They're smoking a joint. Oh, this guy. It's like Pollock, you know. And someone will see the genius. So that's poetry. Sad stuff. Just get throwing cancer, dogs dying, orphans, and rapes and murders and stuff, and
well,
people will
that's what my sitcom's going to be about. So,
exactly. Well done. You are in the air of the times. So yeah, it's who's your favorite comedian?
oh, that's a really good question. Who's my favorite comedian? The thing is,
Top three, top five.
but yeah, that's better. That's better. I like Sean Locke. They're all, but I'm sorry, they're not all British. I like Kathleen Ryan. That is her name. Yeah. Sean Locke. Who else do I like? I can never think of the answers to questions like that when I get
Oh,
asked.
right, for an interview.
Embarrassing. Who else do I like?
Sean Locke. Let's see if I can know him.
Yeah. Actually,
Oh yeah, I really like Sean Locke. He's really
someone
funny.
whose stand-up I've not seen that I would like to see. We were actually booked to go and see him. Do you know Ramesh Ranganathan? He's like all over TV in the
Like the Indian guy who people think he's a Muslim.
Sri Lankan guy. Yeah, he like. I really like him, but I've not seen him do any stand-up actually. Like we were supposed to go see him in Leeds in May, I think, and yeah, we didn't. We didn't obviously because he wasn't there. He was at home like everybody else.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so but you were there.
I was there. Oh, and that in fact, actually thinking about live gigs has made me remember like comedians that I actually like. Oh, what's his name? That's embarrassing. Kevin Bridges. He's from Glasgow. He's brilliant. He's really good. He's one of my favourites. He's so. I love Glaswegian humour. Like every comedian from Glasgow that I've seen, and I'm terrible with like remembering who's who, but I just love their sense of humour. It's brilliant. I saw a comedian called Susie McCabe a couple of times as well, and she's from Glasgow, and she's just spot on. She's so good. Who else have I been to see recently? Bill Bailey as well. Bill Bailey's really like absolutely brilliant. Like we went like with my best mate and partner to see him. I've seen him a couple of times actually. His sets are just amazing. Like they're set, you watch them and you're like that is like the perfect comedy set. Like it's so well done. Like and just like the music stuff he brings in, I'd love to be able to do that.
You are.
I can't at all, but
of course you can. Of course you can.
The music, I mean, like I learned to play the drums when I was a kid, which doesn't really lend itself that well to musical comedy. Apart from just being like boom boom after my own jokes.
That's never seen that. I've never seen a comedian do that. I've seen comedians do all sorts of stuff, but not that.
Gap in the market, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, actually, there's a guy who runs a comedy night in Glossop. Called Andy. I've forgotten his surname. That's not good, is it? I'm sorry, Andy.
People cross everybody. You know, like these guys trying to make a career for themselves for someone not to remember their name.
No, right. You know what? I'm gonna
Google
find
it.
out. What's his name? Yeah, I am actually because he's just really lovely. His comedy night's really good. Oh God, what's his name? Andy Quirk, that's it. Andy Quirk. Sorry, Andy.
Andy Quirk. Yeah.
Andy Quirk. Yeah, he's great, but he does does like musical. Oh, I've lost Zoom. Where's it gone? Oh, there we go. Yeah, he does musical comedy, but he sort of like pre-records like electronic music, and it's really good actually. And that is something that I could probably do, but it's just actually learning how to do it and doing it.
How to do the music.
Yeah, just like he like produces his own like tracks electronically and then just plays them on stage and sings. And yeah, he's really good. Like he's got like really catchy songs to the point that like I can't remember music. Like even my favorite tune will come on. If it's not got words, I'm like, what is that? Even though I know it's my favorite tune, I can't tell you what it is. But his tunes were so catchy that like I was singing them after hearing them once at a gig. Yeah, just about like they're just about like sandwiches and things like that.
All right.
Yeah.
Profound.
Yeah, I mean, I like sandwiches, so it resonated with me.
Yeah. I kind of identify it. You identify with sandwiches.
Yeah, I do actually. I do identify with a good sandwich.
Yeah, the shit sandwich. You know the shit sandwich managerial technique.
Yes,
that's beautiful.
Yeah, you've got really nice hair. You're an absolute twat, and your glasses are nice too.
That's it. That's beautiful. But at first, I know. And this, I know a lady, and she does that, and her not her employees, the people, she's the manager, and the people working there. When she comes on with the compliments, you say, "Oh yeah, all righty then, here we go." Oh, it's very like, it's very nice what you did. I say, all right, yeah, yes, and no. Okay, but then people if you do it nicely, people will respect you. But if you do it each time, they'll just that you're fake ass compliments. Well, no, fuck
yeah.
You.
Yeah. Just give me the insult, and if you want to compliment me, do it separately.
Yeah, exactly. Just if someday she's happy about something, you say, "Hey, well done," and people say, "Okay, yeah," and they won't move until the critique comes.
Yeah.
And yeah, what else? So, are you broken? That's a good thing. That's the kind of stuff I ask all comedians. Do you feel you are broken?
Do I feel I'm
like
broken?
Dead inside?
Am I dead inside?
Come to comedy. There's something wrong with you.
I'm loads of things. I'm hibernating inside. Basically, I live in Britain, so yeah, of course I'm dead inside. I mean, just like, you've been here, you know what it's like.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'm like the living embodiment of like the bitterness and
shame
and just of Britain. It's just it's rolling up inside me every time I open my eyes in the morning and until I close them again at night. So yeah.
Alrighty.
Yeah. How about
Beautiful.
you? You
yeah, I'm dead inside.
Yeah.
I'm. That's true. Yeah, I am. And say difficult childhood and all that, and say, I had all that. I have. I think I put it on. No, I'm not sure. I've been writing some essays about how my parents were drug addicts and all that, and all stuff. But yeah, and everybody, when you talk to people, and we do ranting in lessons, and people start ranting, and you say, "Oh, hold on a minute, why do you say that?" And then 30 seconds later, it's because my dad never told me he loved me. Yeah, there we go. That's something we can work with. Instead of doing jokes about dogs in airports, we can go and say something that it's really how should I say something that really matters. One student, she has herpes in her vajayjay, and that's she talks about it and about the information that goes around that. Well, no, we don't want information. We want to know how it feels like. What you feel. How does it make you angry or sad or shameful or something? But information, thank you. There's Wikipedia for that. So you are British, but that's the normal state of things. As
British.
Yeah, being British and all that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. No, it is quite good to talk about your like issues in comedy, and I mean, yeah, I've got a little poem on my YouTube channel about my coming off antidepressants. It's very nice. Um,
Very nice. We just pop
yeah.
another.
Hmm?
It's a very nice poem about coming off antidepressants,
Yeah,
and she
it's very
takes
nice.
another one.
It's very nice. Um, yeah, so it's basically the poem is about. I'll just tell you what it's about, which is much less exciting than actually listening to it.
Yeah.
It's about me just being like really mental, and then trying to decide whether it was because I was on my period or coming off antidepressants. And well, I'll let you listen to the conclusion when you hear the poem.
All righty, I
Yeah,
shall.
get those YouTube views from 6 to 7.
Yay!
Yeah.
The other day I had a look at my YouTube views. And I've been doing stuff on YouTube forever,
Yeah,
for a
forever.
year.
Since
And
before you were born.
yeah, before YouTube was invented, I was already there. I was just waiting.
It was uterus tubed before
E-
you were born.
Exactly. And you see that people don't give a fuck. They watch the first 10 seconds, then it goes down, and then nobody gets to the end of the video,
I
which
know.
is cool.
I mean,
It's fun.
I actually did watch some of your videos to the end,
Oh,
so
righty.
you'd be happy about that.
Yeah, no, I don't check it. Sometimes I will, but the idea of these interviews, like when we all get famous in Hollywood and shit, and oh, look at Hannah, and how is she's in an interview with the bird, there's a cartoon bird behind her, it's a Christmas hat. Oh, it's a collector item on YouTube. Yeah, let's have a look at that. And she told us all about her wanker jumper.
Yeah.
The janker.
Yeah. Is that the right way around to you?
Yeah. Yeah, that's how I read it. Otherwise, it would be Reknoa. Rekno.
Rekno.
Yeah, jumper. Rekno.
That's actually my middle name. Rekno.
Rekno.
Desmond.
Yeah, Rekno. Maybe. Going on a limb here, if that's you said, probably no one has ever. I never seen wanker written the other way around as a name, Mrs.
No.
Rekno.
Could you reckon? Like I don't know. What it's like in Portugal or France, but in Britain you can't I'm sure it's the same. Like you can't call your kid you can't call your kid dickhead. Like that's illegal, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's illegal.
Yeah, you're not allowed to do that. No. I mean, I've tried. But yeah, like, could you actually? I wonder if you could get away with doing it backwards, like Reknor, or what's dickhead backwards? Hang on. Hang on, I'm gonna have to write this down. Dickhead.
I will just stall the audience. And now we are talking about inverse the family names. And the first one.
I mean, it's actually
Gaelic. It's a Gaelic name. It's a
dickhead's not a very good one to do backwards. What about twat? You could call a kid like
Tot.
Tot. Yeah. Hi, I'm Tot.
There's little Tot. I'm here for the little Tot who waits for his mother at reception. Oh man, I saw a cartoon saying, "Ladies and gentlemen, the little fuck you, I don't talk to strangers is waiting for his mom at the reception desk."
That's great.
That's funny. Yeah.
I love those little like little sort of cartoons and stuff. I've not got to the point of like distilling comedy into those, but I met up with them. So I've been like, I'm always on a course, right? I just like do courses all the time. It's brilliant. But I've just been doing a comedy course. So it's a good way to meet like other comedians and writers as well. So I'm getting together with this woman called Lena, and we wanted to start doing some like little cartoons and stuff because she's so her name's Lena Shah, and she's bringing out a book, not a comedy book, but she's like just getting into comedy. So she's bringing out a book on like sort of meditation and yoga and stuff, and she's done it in like little cartoons, so she knows an illustrator and poetry,
Exactly.
So yeah, like she was like, oh, we should just like do that for comedy. I'm like, yeah, brilliant. So we're meeting up on Sunday, and I don't have any ideas for any cartoons yet, so I'm hoping that tonight and tomorrow night in my dreams, some cartoons will come to me, and then on Sunday we'll be able to, create some. But I like that sort of just like one visual image with the joke. Like it's just boiled down to that's the funny bit. Like it's good.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, it's all technique, really. If you write a joke about something,
Yeah.
and you go all the process of punchline making and all that stuff. You just do all that, and then if you have a visual punchline, then it's you just draw it. It's like a Dimitri Martin kind of thing, and it's cool what he does. And but it is hard, like drawing. It's well anyway. You can you have if you have someone who can draw, that's cool.
Yeah.
So they just draw something and just make it funny.
Yeah.
Someone
Yeah.
who looks like that doesn't know something. Does God exist, or were the mushrooms, different? Anyway, so stuff like that.
Yeah.
In doubt, just go for sex and violence and bodily functions. Always guaranteed laugh.
Yeah. Yeah. Lena wanted to do like topical stuff, which I like. I do like writing topical stuff, but then you've got like it's quite a lot of pressure to get it out there straight away because it becomes out of date so quickly.
It does. But there's a very good book about that. It's called Comedy Writing for Late Night TV.
I've got it.
You've got it. Well, just follow it. Follow it. Oh, yeah. Do the steps, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you'll find the jokes. I tried to explain to a student the other day about doing that. We chose a topic, and there's like this thing in France with the domestic violence or women getting killed and stuff. And there's like this bracelet that is anti-approach bracelet.
Right.
Like
bracelets, they deal with issues. They're very helpful for dealing with issues.
Exactly. So the bracelet in French, because it's like an ornament, it's like a jewel, something like that.
Yeah.
Or if you imagine what does the bracelet do, and you search it, and it just warns the police that you are too close to the person, but it doesn't actually. If you're gonna kill her, it doesn't actually stop you. So if you
not
change
like a bracelet with a sword in it or anything like that.
Exactly, but that could be a joke, like laxatives. Like the equivalent of 2 boxes of laxatives are injected into your bloodstream if you get it within 1 mile of the person.
Yeah.
And then you'll just shit yourself forever, and you'll never go, or it chops your hand off, or it explodes.
Yeah.
Or it's I don't know. Or instead of a bracelet, you can wear it around your neck, or like a bracelet that weighs 500 pounds, that you don't go anywhere with that, or you go very slowly.
Yeah.
If you just take one thing and you work on that idea, you choose the topic, you see the rules for choosing a topic, and then just get your creativity going.
Yeah. No, it's a good point actually. So I do actually have a lot of ideas like that, but then they can become more, or not long form, but like sketch ideas, and then it becomes like a 2 or 3 minute sketch, and I'm like, how would I do that as a comic, like like a little comic thing? But actually, it's just taking that central idea, really, isn't it? And like that being the
And there's the Scott Dickers How to Write Funny book, which is and I did the comedy business school with him, like a course. I called a course with him.
I think I've come across it.
Scott Dickers.
Scott Dickers, right?
Can't call him Dick. We call him Dickers. Where are my Dickers? That's the Knickers and the Dickers. Where are the Dickers?
Dickers. I'm sorry, Scott Dickers. I kind of want to use that as an insult. That's quite good.
Yeah, Dickers. You dicker. That's Dick. You are a dick. You are a dicker. You're
Dicker.
Worse.
Dicker and dickest.
Yeah, like the cunter. You are the cuntest person in the world. There we go. That's comedy genius right there. Hey, YouTube.
Yeah, that sort of sounds like a job, actually, doesn't it? Contest.
Oh, we're going to participate in the contest. The the contest for the cons. Anyway, those were fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, and he talks about the comedy filters, like
Yeah.
exaggeration. You know, if
Oh
you,
yeah.
you
Yeah.
exaggerate whatever, and it's automatically funny, yeah, as long
Yeah.
as it is really out of the park exaggeration. Like the bracelet, if instead of weighing, I don't know, 20 grams,
Yeah.
it weighs 50, 100,000 pounds.
Yeah.
That's it, and just like one of those Lucky Luke, like the cannonball, tied to the foot or something.
Oh yeah. 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 Yeah.
Shackles, like shackle. I don't know, or actually, yeah, there's the bracelet and the chain next to it, and you just you don't you won't approach anyone with that because you're chained to a wall, something like that. But just you go on the news, and if there's a topic that's interesting, or
Yeah.
that's stupid, that's like the IQ test for dogs. That's dumb.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
that kind of examples when you go through the news, and if you take the Sun, you buy the Sun, they'll have
Yeah.
loads
Oh,
of
it's
that stuff.
great. Yeah, it's I've got because I did when do you know Newsjack on the BBC?
Newsjack now.
Yeah, it's like a topical program, but it's open submission. So um, yeah, I was submitting stuff for that, and like they I got a sketch into the last one, but like that, so you basically can submit one-liners and sketches. And I got a sketch on, but I was like writing one-liners every week for 6 weeks, and I hadn't really done that before. Like I've never been a sort of one-linery kind of person, but yeah, like some of the so I I mean I don't buy papers because I have screens, but I've got like Google News, and it has like it has all the shit rags like the Sun and the Daily Mail and like the Express, which is I don't know if you've like read the headlines in the Express.
No.
They are just ridiculous. Like it's the
Yeah.
most ridiculous like newspaper I've ever come across. Basically, every other headline is like World War III is starting. It's just like, oh my god. But yeah, because I'm clicking on all of these headlines for comedy. Like now, if I go on Google News, it just gives me like all of these like terrible like right wing all
yeah. Conspiracy theorist kind of person.
yeah, I'm just like, I actually don't want to read this now. I'm not trying to write a joke.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you have to dig through a little bit, and then you find some really hilarious stories. Another good one is like Sky News has got a weird news section.
Yeah, just go on there, and you have plenty of jokes. You have
Yeah.
But if the only thing is that the topic shouldn't be intentionally funny.
Yeah.
And that's it. Man, after you just throw like this is in the book, in the comedy for late night, there's the two women caught stealing stuff from supermarket and hiding it in rolls of their body fats.
Yeah, I remember this one. Yeah.
And yeah, we can do this the easy way or the disgusting way. And you go, yeah, that would be like a meatloaf inside under a boob where it's all wet and tropical under there, and it's like it's like all mushy and stuff. You say, oh, it's disgusting, but it's cool. So, but it is an exercise, and if you, it's like if you do a math homework or something, and you know how to do a multiplyings,
yeah,
just go do many multiplyings in a row.
Flashbacks to maths lessons. Don't talk about it.
And you do it until you are good at it, and but it's just for the sake of it. So don't if you put pressures, I have to make something funny come out of this. Where's the joke? Where's the joke? And it'll be stressed, but there's no point.
Yeah, yeah, you're absolutely right. Like, so another good book is The Serious Guide to Joke Writing by Sally Holloway, and she talks about this idea that like all jokes are out there in the ether, you're just finding them. Like, and I love that idea because it's like if you come across a really shit dad joke, well, it was just there, you just found it. Like, you didn't make it, you just found it. You know, you just connected those ideas in the ether, and like that's what's happened. So it's quite a good attitude to have towards that practice of writing jokes, because then if they're crap, you're just like, Oh, I just found him. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It doesn't reflect on you. And then the more you do it, the more you find the good ideas or like the weird ideas that other people don't find.
yeah.
It's, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, that's the thing. In medieval times, in Renaissance times, there was the idea of the genie, having a
Yeah.
good genie and a bad genie. Genius, genius actually comes from this. Not someone who is very
Oh,
clever,
right.
but it's like the muse that inspired the artist, like Michelangelo or Da Vinci or whatever. They'll be doing something, and if
Yeah.
the muses or the genie was in a good day, they would do something sublime. But if the genie just woke up and his hatch was screeching and so, and you just go and you make it like a doodle and it's crap and it's horrible, then it's
Yeah.
not the painter's fault. It was just his bad genie. Bad genius was having a bad day, so he made some
Yeah.
shitty work. So it wasn't always the artist's fault, and it wasn't always the artist's credit.
Mm.
So nowadays, with all this, you know, um, uh, down to earth information atheist kind of attitude to things, it's only the individual. So if you are the girls and all about the bass, all about the bass, about the bass, down down, the song
Oh.
all about the bass, the song about your ass. Yeah, you probably know that.
I've probably
You
heard it.
probably know it anyway.
Probably know.
um or a big hit, I don't know, whatever song, huge hit song, like Gangnam Style. You know Gangnam
I
Style?
know. I know Gangnam Style.
Gangnam Style, right? So
That's
that guy,
a
he
banger.
does Gangnam Style, and he goes bonkers, and his gazillion views on YouTube. He gets invited everywhere. What
Yeah.
is this guy going to do next? That's the
Well,
thing.
haven't you seen his great video with Snoop Dogg, Hangover?
No, I haven't. See, that's
Okay.
how you get up there, and then like it can destroy people like Amy Winehouse and
Yeah.
people like that. You just get fucking destroyed because you say, oh, now what is my existence going to go? You don't know what to do anymore.
Yeah.
Whereas if you have this fiction like the bird, you can have a bird and say, well, this the fucking bird told me this joke, and that was a great joke. So thank you, Mr. Bird. But he's a fucking asshole. So he told me this other joke and this other one that sucked. So, and being a comedy writer, you do 90% of what you do is shit, which is, yeah, if you accept it, you say, well, I have to get out 9 crappy ideas
Yeah.
to hope to have one good one.
Yeah.
And that's how they work. So if you don't get the bad ideas out, the good idea you won't get to the good idea.
Yeah. 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 No, you've got to like purge the shite.
Yeah,
Like, yeah. I mean,
that'll be the name of your show.
purge
Purge the
the
shite.
shite. That sounds about
Yeah,
right.
the
Yeah.
cuntest way of doing
Purge the
comedy.
shite.
Purge
But I
the
didn't
shite.
name it. It was the fucking shoe bill.
Exactly, Shoebird. And who
Me.
named the fucking Shoebird a Shoebird? What does he do? He goes, oh,
This
shoo, shoo.
dickhead.
That's the noise he makes. It's shoo, shoo.
He makes more evil noises than that. Actually, I can't remember the noise that it makes. Just coming back to the shoe bill. So the reason the shoe bill is one of the it's not just that it looks evil. It's such a prick, right? It has 2 chicks, and it basically makes them fight to the death. It has 2 chicks, and it brings back enough food for one of them. So the stronger one just like fucks up the weaker one and kills it.
There's a
And
cartoon for you. I
yeah,
just
well,
found it.
it's just life. That's just a thing.
Yeah, you put your cartoon, you have the shoe bill looking at these 2 chicks. They're right, darlings. Now, life lesson here. One of you will live. The other one, unfortunately, will starve to death. And I
Yeah.
won't do anything about it because I don't care for my genes that much. I
The
want one strong chick,
strong genes.
strong genes.
Those are the ones getting through. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, it's worked, hasn't it? Because like, if you're, you know, evolution wants you to become a big hard bastard
Bird.
that nobody
Big
can,
bird.
like, yeah, a big fuck off evil bird that nothing can kill. Like, it's worked. So fair
Yeah,
play. Should
exactly.
do.
It's like sharks that eat each other in the mummy shark's womb, and
No,
there's only
they do.
yeah, they fight to the death and they eat each other, and only the ones that ate their brothers come out.
Oh, right.
Yeah, well, that's nature for you. When people say, "Oh, you're an animal," no, animals are not that nice.
No.
They're nice, but they're not that nice.
No, but we're not very nice. So,
No, no.
yeah.
Anyway, well, darling, I thank you so much for this moment. This was really cool.
It's been a pleasure. Thanks for
It
having
is a
me.
pleasure. So, how can we find you on YouTube?
So my YouTube URL is YouTube/C, letter C/Hannah Desmond.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know what the C
I'll
is.
put links down.
Yeah,
there.
put the links down there. And on Twitter, I am digital_gonad. And on Instagram, I am, I think, at Digital Gonad, or I might be Hannah Serious Desmond. But if you click on one of the others, there'll be a link to. I'll actually give you the link. I changed it so they would be the same, but I don't know if it actually, which is really useful, isn't it? Yeah. It might be this, it might be that. I don't know. I'm on the internet.
Fuck off. Go on Twitter. You'll find me. There's only 3 people on there.
Twitter, yeah, just type my name into Facebook or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
If you just Google me, like, I'm obviously the most important Hannah Desmond, although there is a like Hannah Desmond wedding planner and Hannah Desmond who writes like mystery novels. I'm not one of those.
But there's the cunts.
Yeah, it's
Cunters.
just like, yeah.
The cuntist.
Cuntist. If you've got the Google filter and you click the drop down box and you select filter by cuntist, I will come floating to the top. Like,
there you go. There's another joke there. There's another joke there. I suggest we add a filter in Google. If you want, personality trait of celebrity.
That's like good, actually. I like that.
Dopey to cuntist. Cool, nice guy. Tom Hanks, nice guy. Whatever. And you go up to Bill Cosby, and you go,
yeah,
creepy. That'd be funny. Creepy comedian.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Horrifying. Yeah. Horrifying. Yeah, I like that actually. Like a personality trait filter. That's good. You could have a whole series on that.
Yeah.
Well
you
done.
have on that, on ears, on teeth, crooked nose, black dude. And you go, and it's Eddie Murphy, whatever, and these are the crooked nose. But anyway, filters, Google filters. That's a cool thing. That's a sandbox there.
Yeah.
All right, I shall stop the recording now. Well, shall I stop the recording? Yeah, I'll stop the recording. And goodbye.